So, what has our favourite Chinese multi-hyphenate phantom been up to this week? Find out on the YIBO Weekly. First off, I apologise for all of this, but I'm having the SADs today. And as soon as I finish filming, I'm getting straight back into bed because I don't have to not, and so why wouldn't I? But moving on. There's not actually much to say. This should be short and sweet. There have been no appearances this week, so there's very little for me to say until we get to brand stuff. There has been an enormous amount of new brand material, but we'll get to that then. The only two things I really have to say before we get into all of the, commercials, is... So firstly, racing had another race, which YIBO was not involved in, but they finished their season, their full season. I actually thought that the season was already over, but I was wrong. There was one more race. And they did a little write-up on Weibo after the race. The only other thing that I'll say before we go into brand stuff is it was highly anticipated that YIBO would appear at the Vogue Forces of Fashion Gala, which is in a couple of days. And the guest list had a couple of names had been leaked, but the actual guest list wasn't actually revealed until yesterday, and it was highly anticipated that he would be there, and he was not. And I went to bed a little bit sad, but this is one of the things that happens. And then after I'd gone to bed, because we're a few hours ahead of China, we're quite close in time zone, but we've gone to daylight savings now, so we're now 3 hours ahead. So I'd gone to bed when Vogue put out a little video of YIBO making apologies for not appearing. So obviously they're doing something with him because they had him to speak to, but yeah, he's not on the list for the gala. So there's that, which brings us up to brand stuff. Now it's so many things to say. Just generally speaking, the Double 11 shopping festival is coming up. That's the 11th of November. And just a couple of days ago, it felt like Monday, it felt like all of the brands had pulled out their brakes. A couple of things happened last week, but now it's like everybody all the time posting about Double 11, and they've got sales on, special promotions and things, and not just YIBO's brands, but YIBO's brands going, bananas. So there was a lot of material just came out in the last couple of days. But the two big brand stories, apart from Double 11, well, on any other week, they would be the two big brand stories, full stop. The two big brand stories are that Franzi re-upped their endorsement. So it was the anniversary of YIBO starting with Franzi. And so they put out a new portrait and a bunch of different things for their anniversary. They're like starting their second year. And the other thing is that Helly Hansen finally put out the second, I don't know if there's only two, but the second ad that they filmed, quite an elaborate thing with him in ski gear. And I think this must have been filmed when he filmed the sailing one, which was right at the beginning of the year. So, or maybe not. No, I think it was all filmed together. I don't know what I'm basing that on. Anyway, so there was so much anticipation for the second Helly Hansen ad, and it's finally out, and it's come out in a week where there are so many other things going on that it got less attention than it might otherwise have. But I put it on my channel, and there's a link below to that, and whatever. That happened. Now, other things. Our Audi put out ads. Audi doesn't put out much often, but they put out a promotion. It's a whole bunch of new photos, and there's a thing whereby if you buy an Audi, this particular kind of Audi, which is the one that they're heavily promoting at the moment, you'll get a skateboard. And I'm like thinking, you would have to be like 99% of the way to buying the car already, I guess. And it's for people who are just waiting for that little push over the edge to do it this week, I suppose. But yeah, they've got an YIBO skateboard that you can get free with purchase for your brand new car. So that happened this week. Jeans West and Banana In both put out some just gorgeous shots and video. Banana In had like a cute thing of YIBO kind of on a Back to the Future kind of, like hoverboard, like for pretend, like it was like movie magic, and this like whisper thing with multiple YIBOs, and we all, the multiple YIBO ad is a prime ad. It's one of the ones we particularly like, and they did a very good rendition of it. So that came out, and White Elephant Food had a new ad. Who am I forgetting? Lifespace had a new ad. Jimmy Choo had a whole bunch of stuff out for a pair of shoes that the fandom is very mixed on whether it's, like a stylish shoe or an ugly shoe, which like I think that's probably, like going well for Jimmy Choo because mostly we've thought they were ugly. And I bet there's somebody else. Hang on a second while I check. Lacoste had a new video out and some photos, and he looks. They were out yesterday, the photos, and he looks truly fine in that getup. And SKG actually had YIBO. I think this is it was a Double 11 promotion for SKG, but YIBO actually on his own personal Weibo put up an ad where he's talking about his ab trainer. This is probably why I memory hold that particular one, because like in no universe possible am I going to be buying an ab trainer. But anyway, YIBO promoting the ab trainer from SKG, what came out on his own Weibo. But yeah, basically it was all ads. So many ads. And some of them are gorgeous, but I'm only ever going to get so excited about the ads. I'm still waiting for something like a bit more meaty to happen, but not this week. So as I said, short and sweet. Hopefully I've managed to not ramble too much. And I'll play us out with, I think we're going to have to look at YIBO excusing himself from Vogue. I think that was nice and cute and sweet and short, and we'll put that up here. Hope you're all well, and I hope you have a wonderful YIBO Wednesday.
Hello， 一博，你怎么没来 VOGUE 盛典呀？
你过来，我告诉你。